Digital banking in Nigeria is huge. The potential is actually untapped. We are still scratching the surface. And from where I sit as head of card business, looking after 10.3 million cards, you can actually control your cards. So if I'm leaving the country today, I can decide which of my cards I want active, which one I want deactivated. That's leveraging technology. That's also another aspect of digitalization. And I'm seeing how Nigeria can leverage on that to reduce costs, to improve customer experience. When you're talking about Internet of Things, whereby the customer is king, whereby we can see you on every channel you go to. Now we are coming to you, we are bringing you service.
Speed, efficiency.
And then my bank knows me, my bank values me, my bank cares about me. So,
now you have repeatedly highlighted leveraging on the digital, which is essentially what the panel conversations and sessions here have revolved around. The theme, digital transformation of the African financial services industry, how to adopt and make the most of the opportunities. Do you feel like we are leveraging enough in terms of harnessing the opportunities that digital has to present for the financial services sector in Nigeria? Have we been merely paying lip service over the past couple of years, or do you feel like, as a service provider who is also privy to regulations from the regulator, are we harnessing enough?
I think we are harnessing. We are on a journey. We cannot compare Africa to other Western countries, which I alluded to in my presentation. That Nigeria and Africa, we are on a journey to digitalization. And maybe I also need to provide an insight to say, digitalization is usually a 5 to 10 year journey. And Nigeria is just getting into the middle of it. And I'll speak for my bank, First Bank. We are in self-service mode. Digitalization starts from a physical bank. We talked about informational. And then you move from that, from a physical bank to being an online bank. An online bank where customers now go online to do transactions. That's transactional. From there, you move to self-service. Self-service is now personalized bank. And that's what we'll be talking about, putting the customer at the center of it all, leveraging on technology. Right now, where Nigeria is, we are on self-service. We move from that to engage, a fully engaged, but I can call a connected bank. That's the last bus stop before we reach a fully digitalized and innovative bank. So banks in Nigeria and Africa, we are evolving. It's not about competition, it's collaboration. We need each other. So
collaboration, you have emphasized as part of being proactive in terms of harnessing the opportunities provided by digital. Now, as the year 2020 approaches, and providers like yourself begin to, and the regulators also begin to gear towards attaining the 80% financial inclusion goal for the country, what challenges have you had to deal with as a provider?
What the regulator has set as a target for 2020 for financial inclusion is to reduce financial exclusion from 40% to 20%. It's also to ensure that for every 100,000 Nigerian adults, we have about 850 POS. We have about 7 branches of banks. So if you notice the differential, we must have mobile money agents that are higher number than the bank branches. So about 80%, not yet. It's 40% reduction to 20%. And to ensure we have 80% savings, product availability. The challenge we will have is the regulator sitting with us to walk the journey with us. They are making significant efforts, but we are not yet there. The regulator must double down with the financial providers, not giving undue advantage to the fintechs. We are collaborating. So it must be the same standard, it must be the same platform, and then we also have to talk about cost. Infrastructural adjustment to agile technology involves huge investments, which the fintechs don't have to do. And then don't forget that the established banks have several branches. First Bank has about 850 branches to start with. We are leading the conversation by actually decentralizing. Now with our agency banking structure, our banks that are not profitable, our branches that are not profitable, we are turning them into agents that will now offer financial services on the go without incurring huge costs. To maintain the four wall of a bank branch involves a lot of costs. You know that there's power issues in Nigeria, so you have to run almost 24/7 on generator. By the time we move to the agency banking structure, it's more nimble. The agents now represent the bank, offering the same financial services at a reduced cost with less financial outlay.
As we strive now towards achieving the financial inclusion goal, who would you say is winning? The operators, the regulators, or the customers?
The customers are the winner.
How so?
I will tell you that because the operators the regulators are firmly behind the customers. And that's why the 2020 vision of Central Bank of Nigeria for Financial Inclusion states every Nigerian adult must have access to financial services that is not even expensive, that is affordable, that is convenient, and that is easily accessible. So the customer is at the center of it all. So as the regulator is making their regulations, making their policies to support the customer, to defend the customer. And now more than ever, the Consumer Protection Council, they are empowered to fight for the customer. We didn't have that like 10 years ago.
Obviously, of the position that the customer is winning, but do you feel like we need to localize digitization more in the way that it makes life, so to speak, easier for the average Nigerian customer? Because we do say that we are leveraging on digital from the provider's perspective, the regulator's perspective. They've set a goal, but for the average Nigerian customer, the queues are still long in the banking halls. The queues are still long at the ATM stands. The weekend e-banking are a nightmare. I'm speaking from the perspective of the average Nigerian digital banking consumer.
Yeah. I mentioned to you that we're on a journey. Digital transformation is a 5 to 10 years journey globally. And Nigeria has actually gone ahead of that. Within 5 years, we've been able to change the landscape. You now see a digital bank that stands, a standalone digital bank, at an offshoot of traditional banks. We've seen examples. And then we've seen that the journey is not a 100-kilometer dash. It's a marathon. So we are running it. We are running a race. And we need all the support. So that doesn't happen in a day.